great evening, great morning, great afternoon, whenever you are listening to this face the crowd with your confidence. How to conquer your fear of public speaking with Dr. Stephanie Wall, your speaker, your transformation architect. Let's just jump right on in. This is just a quick training for all of you. So let's go. Are you ready? Know what your fear is. Know what your fear is. Some of you may fear simply just being in the room. Some of you may fear just a mere thought of presenting to another person, but know what it is. All right, presentations. How many of you, raise your hand, say me. How many of you have ever had to present something to someone? Remember this, 74% of us will use presentations for something. Presentations are tools that can be used as lectures or speeches or reports or more. It's mostly presented before an audience. 74% of us will use it, but this is what I want you to remember. It is a tool. Tool. It's a tool. It is not to be your focus. I don't want you looking at the presentation. I don't want you focusing on the presentation. Remember, you have an audience. Humans, you have to engage. Know what the subject is you're talking about. Remember, presentations are a tool. I kept that on here because I want you to know that it's a tool. Know the subject. If you are asked to speak on a subject and you're not really familiar with it, if you have time, do a little bit of research. Get what you can so that you know exactly what it is you're talking about and get some speaking points. Get there early if you're coming to an organization and talk with the people and get the lingo, get the words, because the people listening to you, when you're using their terminology, they can receive it better. The ears receive it better. We've already talked about it. Research and plan your material. I can't emphasize this enough. Research and plan. With this research and plan, that also includes getting there early to the event. I share that or many times you guys have heard that my very first speaking engagement, I didn't know that I needed to get there early. I didn't know about researching, and I absolutely failed. It was a fail for me. It was one of my never again moments because I flubbed, I cried, I cringed. I didn't know my audience. I wasn't speaking to the people in the room. I didn't know my why. I didn't understand why it was important for them to know the information. I didn't know whether they were voluntold or volunteered to be there. Those things matter when you're presenting to groups. So do your research. Rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Practice, practice, practice. The more you know, the better you are. The more that you practice, the more confident you will be presenting the material. I can't express this enough as well. When you know what you know, you kill it. You nail it because you look like you know what you're saying. Your body exudes the energy that you know what you're talking about. When you walk into the room, folks can tell from the moment you begin whether or not you know what you're talking about. Think about a time you saw someone presenting and they were looking at the screen and they were reading the PowerPoint to you. That's because they didn't know it either. Even if they knew it, you couldn't tell because they read the slide. Don't be a slide reader. During your speech, you see how this person here is looking at the audience. Point to the screen, look at the audience. Point to the screen, look at the audience. You see them little words on there, they can't read that anyway. They're looking down at the PowerPoint or whatever you handed out prior to. During your speech, you have two options. You can hand out your handout prior to, or you can tell them that you're going to give it out at the end. But let them know that no matter what it is that you presented, you will give them that information so that they can go back and review it at a later time. But I need you to engage and scan the room. If you're uncomfortable with looking at people when you're talking, find someone that's already nodding and agreeing, and that will be your North Star. That's your North Star. You look at that person, keep your eyes on them, but scan the room, even if you're scanning over top of heads, to look like you're at least looking around. Ask questions. Engage the audience because they don't want to sit there and listen to speaker after speaker after speaker talking at them. Engage them, bring them in to the story. You know how to do it. Think about a time that you sat in the audience and you wish someone had asked you a question. Do that. Getting the right pace. I speak quickly. I was told as a speaker that I talk too fast, my voice is too heavy, and all those things. And what I learned was that I have a unique voice, and you have a unique voice. Find your unique voice, find that pace. You don't want to be too fast, you don't want to be too slow. You want to be right in the middle and know when to bring up the pace and when to bring the pace down. But get the right pace. Calm down and breathe deeply. Before you say your first words, take a deep breath. Watch your pace. Please don't present and use your presentation as a crutch. And relax and be authentically you. They came to see you. They don't want to see your representative. They don't want to see someone else. They came to see you. And even if they didn't know who you were, present yourself as someone that they want to know. Be amazing. Focus on giving your best speech. Practice it, practice it, practice it. But don't get distracted. Don't worry about the speaker that came before you. Don't think about the speaker that's coming after you. You focus on doing the best speech that you could ever give, or the best talk, or the best presentation when you're giving it. That's it. That's all, folks. After your speech, thank everyone. Thank you for your time and attention. And if you are doing a presentation or a speech, or if there's an opportunity for you to get the feedback, because that feedback will allow you to get better. You will find out what worked well and what didn't work so well, and what you may need to tweak just a little bit. So don't be afraid of the critique. All that is something that helps you get to your next. Don't be afraid of it. Relish the moment and celebrate. If they stand up and give you a standing ovation, or they tell you, oh my God, that was so fabulous, don't be like, oh, wasn't that good? No, receive it. Let's practice saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And if they're giving you a standing ovation, stand there, look around, receive it for a moment, take a bow, and say thank you very much, and then walk off graciously. I already talked about evaluate your performance and take notes to talk about. Evaluate your notes, right? Evaluate your performance and take those notes. And those notes is something you can talk about later. Like I told you how I bombed my first talk. You can talk about it later because you can teach someone else how to be better. All right, there you have it. Speaker Stephanie has given you the tips to make sure that you're fabulous. You can do this. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just do it. You got this. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. The next talk will be how to come in and snatch that audience right up. So see you next week, right back here, same time, same place, to learn your next tip in this speaker series. Say it, believe it, and do it series. Whoops, series. Say it, believe it, and do it series. All right, see you soon.